Ever wondered how to tell if a woman is having an orgasm or if she's faking it? It's a bit of a mystery, isn't it? The female orgasm is often shrouded in confusion and misconceptions, and it is indeed a pretty complex phenomenon. Unlike male orgasms, which are typically straightforward and pretty easily identifiable, the female orgasm can be elusive. It's kind of like running around a maze in the dark. But don't worry, we're here to shed some light on this fascinating subject. In this video, I'll be covering the myths of the female orgasm, the signs to tell between a real and a fake orgasm, as well as the 5 biggest reasons women tend to fake it. And as a bonus, stick around to the end of the video and I'll teach you exactly how to never have a woman fake an orgasm with you again. So for starters, let's debunk a common myth. Not all women will experience orgasms in the same way. That's right. Just as every woman is unique, so too is her experience when it comes to orgasms. Some women may have intense, earth-shattering orgasms, while others may experience a subtler yet equally as satisfying one. So if you're looking for a one-size-fits-all answer, I'm afraid you're out of luck. And the other thing is, her reaction and experience can also change depending on the type of orgasm she's having. The female orgasm isn't solely about physical pleasure. It's a symphony of psychological, emotional, and physiological factors all playing together in harmony. It's like an intricate dance that involves more than just the right moves. Focusing on only the physical could lead you into the trap of fake orgasms. So how can you tell? Well, here are a few signs to look out for between a real orgasm and a fake orgasm. Firstly, let's talk about the physical aspect. During a genuine orgasm, the whole body is often involved. You'll notice her muscles tightening, toes curling, and sometimes even a blush sweeping across her face or her chest. If she seems to be having an orgasm with minimal body movement, it might be a sign she's putting on a show. Also, you do want to pay attention to her pelvic floor. It's a bit tricky, but if you pay attention, you'll notice contractions and tightening during an authentic orgasm. This involuntary movement is a reaction to the intense pleasure being experienced. Now, let's move on to sounds. If the noises she's making during an orgasm seem inconsistent or over the top, it might indicate she's faking it. Now, don't be fooled into thinking that louder equals better. Sure, some women do get louder as they approach an orgasm, but others actually get quieter. Next, we have the changes in breathing. Ever notice how your breath quickens when you're excited or scared? Well, the same principle applies here. When a woman is genuinely on the brink of an orgasm, her breathing could become rapid, shallow, heavier, and even irregular. It's almost like she's running a marathon, but, a lot more fun. If her breathing remains steady and calm during her supposed climax, she might be pulling a fast one on you. Now here's the catch. Just like snowflakes, no two women are the same. These signs can vary greatly from woman to woman. Some might experience these signs more dramatically, and others may show a more subtler sign. And there are those who might not show any signs at all. So it's essential to bear in mind that these are not hard and fast rules, but think of them more as guidelines. Also, it's crucial to remember that these signs do not necessarily mean an orgasm has occurred. They could simply be indications of arousal or pleasure. So while these signs could provide some valuable insight, they are not definitive proof. Okay, now before we get into why women fake orgasms and how you can make sure she never fakes it with you, if you're getting value out of this video and want to see more of this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe so we can continue to make more content for you. All right, now that you know a little bit about her orgasms, you might be wondering why a woman would ever want to fake one. Well, there's actually a few common reasons that women have expressed to me over the years as we've dived into their past sexual experiences. Firstly, we live in a world that often puts a lot of emphasis on female orgasms. And because of this, she may feel an immense pressure to orgasm, not for our own pleasure, but to satisfy your ego or to conform to societal expectations. Secondly, she might not know how to reach an orgasm herself. This could be because of certain certain limiting beliefs, blocks, or shames around sexuality, sex, and masturbation. So she may not actually have explored much of her own pleasure before. Third, she might feel worried or self-conscious about how she looks or sounds when she hits that climax. An orgasm can be an incredibly vulnerable experience for a woman, so it's understandable she may be concerned about being judged for hers. Fourth, previous bad experiences. They can leave a lasting impact, and not always in a good way. Maybe she's been with partners who didn't respond well to her feedback, or maybe they even shut her down when she tried to express her needs and give a little bit of guidance. These experiences can make her hesitant to communicate what she really wants, leading her to opt for the path of least resistance, faking it. Fifth, they're done and they just want the experience to be over, so they fake an orgasm to have an excuse for you to stop. No matter the reason, having a woman fake an orgasm with you is one of the worst things that can happen for your learning and your connection together. They are essentially creating this illusion for you that strokes your ego, but at the end of the day, they're training you to be bad in bed. So at this point, you do have to ask yourself, what's more important? Her lying and saying you're amazing from the start to have your ego stroked, or you stepping up by putting your ego to the side and learning her body and mind so you can give her a real orgasm? Let me tell you a story about a girl I once knew. Let's call her Emily. Emily was in a relationship with a guy who thought he was a sex god. You see, from their very first night together, Emily had faked her orgasms. She did it to end what she thought was a pretty disappointing encounter. She thought it would be a one-time thing, a little white lie. But as their relationship progressed, this little lie turned into a giant snowball. Emily's partner had this one particular move. He thought it was his secret weapon, his power move. The first time he tried it, Emily faked her orgasm just to get it over with. But then he thought it was his magic trick. He continued doing the same move over and over and over again, believing it was bringing Emily to the height of pleasure. So Emily ended up finding herself trapped in this charade. She felt embarrassed and frustrated. She wanted to tell him the truth, but she feared she was going to hurt his feelings since it had dragged on for so long. She also felt pretty guilty. Here was her partner thinking he was some kind of master in the bedroom, and it was all because of her little lie. Emily was never satisfied, and that dissatisfaction grew over the 5 years they were together. Meanwhile, her partner was completely oblivious. He went around giving all of his friends this advice, sharing his power move as if it was the holy grail of bedroom secrets. He thought he was the Don Juan of their generation, but the truth was he wasn't satisfying Emily at all, and he was giving his mates terrible advice on this falsehood. You can see how one false experience can lead to years of problems down the track. But had Emily's partner not been so focused on himself, he would have noticed something was wrong, and he could have openly learnt from Emily rather than continue to leave her unsatisfied. Now, some people may easily just blame her for creating this lie, which does have some truth to it. But more importantly, if we look at her partner, he didn't create a space for her to open up and give him feedback. So how do you avoid being like Emily's partner? What's the secret to never experiencing a fake orgasm again? Well, the cornerstone of any relationship, but especially in the bedroom, is communication. If you're not talking about what you like, what you don't like, and what you're curious about, you're missing out on a whole lot of pleasure. So how do you approach this kind of conversation? Well, you need to start by creating a safe and comfortable space. This means showing respect and understanding for her feelings and her experiences. It's not just about asking her what she wants, but about actively listening to her answers. It's about showing her that her desires, fantasies, and boundaries are important to you. When you've opened up this line of communication, you'll be amazed at how it can change your sexual dynamic. Suddenly, you're not just guessing what she likes, you're exploring together, discovering new ways to pleasure each other. Now, remember how I mentioned female orgasms are like running around a maze in the dark? It can be a lot of fun in the beginning, running around trying new things and trying to work it out on your own. But after a while, if you don't make any progress, it can become boring and frustrating. Communicating with your partner is essentially her giving you a flashlight and a map to her pleasure. But communication is not just about words. It's about being present and paying attention to her body language, her breathing, and her sounds. It's about being in tune with her reactions and adjusting your actions accordingly. Now, let's talk about creating a comfortable space for her. This is where she feels accepted, loved, and free to express her sexuality without judgment. It's where she can let loose, be herself, and truly enjoy the intimate moments you share. This goes beyond the physical environment. It's about making her feel mentally and emotionally at ease. It's about reassuring her that her pleasure matters to you, that her orgasms, no matter how they look or sound, are beautiful to you. And if she's comfortable enough, invite her to show you exactly how she likes to be touched, fucked, and stimulated. This is a great way to learn about her body and what turns her on. Remember, it's not about ego or power. It's about mutual satisfaction. It's not about being the best. It's about being the best for her. So don't be afraid to ask for guidance, to learn, and to explore. And if you need help learning to communicate or create the space or learn techniques to take your sex game and relationships to that next level, check out the link below in the description and check out any of these videos that can help.